If you work with tarot a lot, it helps to have several different layouts at your disposal. It's a matter of the right tool for the right job. You can't pound a nail with your cell phone, and you can't make a phone call with a hammer. So it's making the right choice to get the job done. The same is true of tarot layouts. The majority of the layouts I created and use are all about navigation. They're how to get down the path that's ahead of you, how to make good choices, put your best foot forward, that sort of thing. One-card meditations are good for just low-key philosophical life guidance. But what do you do for the more urgent situations or more specific situations? There is a layout that can help. If you think of the 3, 5, and 7 card layouts as GPS navigation that help you get to where you want to go, generally meet long-term goals. What do you do if you're driving down the road at 70 miles an hour and need to know whether you need to take the next exit or not? Never mind the long-term stuff. This yes or no style of reading can help. On my website, I do these under my zombie cat persona, just for added fun and all sorts of reasons that are in the zombie cat post itself. I'll post the link in the description below so you can read the print side background, all of this. But in any case, it gives you just a straight up yes or no. The problem is, yes or no layouts can't answer this or that questions. They can't give you backgrounds, whys, wherefores, what do I do next kind of answers. It's just a purely in the moment yes or no to one thing, not this or that. I have an example for you today. For privacy's sake, I'll just put it in terms of, do I change or do I persist? Well, like I said, this layout can't answer that because it can't answer this or that questions. So we have to pick one and then look at that one option from a yes or no perspective. So change or persist. How do you know which half of that question to look at? You can do any of a number of things. I'm perfectly comfortable, after 25 years of tarot work, to just pick one intuitively. Follow instincts, see where the energies are flowing, go towards that part of the question. If you don't have a sense of it, then flip a coin. Any number of random choosing methods can be used. Just like the pick a name, flip a card. There's lots of random choosing methods. I've covered them in my book, Peace Tarot. It's available in the shop as a PDF download. I'll link to that too. Again, additional background that's outside the scope of a short video like this. But in any case, let's look at the question of this or that. Should I change or persist? But look at it from the side of should I change? Understanding that is yes, change, or no, don't change, which is the equivalent of persist. So you get your this or that, but you have to kind of come in the side door at it a little bit. Make your this or that determination by focusing on just one aspect and turning that aspect into a yes or no. So if anyone asks a question of a yes or no reading or purchases a yes or no reading and then sends a question that is multifaceted, this or that, or not in a yes or no structure, I will intuitively put it in the yes or no structure. If you're reading for yourself, just make a list, think of all the different aspects, and either intuitively or using a random choosing method, pick one aspect, and then look at it through the yes or no narrow focus lens. So today, question is change or persist. We'll take a look at it from should I change? I've already shuffled the cards, and what we'll do with this particular layout yes or no reading, which I learned a long time ago, it's very ubiquitous, very old, no one knows the author. But you start by shuffling the cards, and then you turn over 3 discrete stacks. And you keep going until you hit an ace card. We have one here, so we'll just leave this stack rest. And you keep laying cards until you either get an ace or you get to 13 cards. Well, boom, 2 aces. So we're going to leave these 2 and work just with this section. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Why 13? I don't know. That's just the tradition of it. If you're afraid of 13s or don't like 13 for whatever reason, pick a number. Or just take the first cards that turn over. However you feel is right for you. I like the process of stacking up the cards because it increases the randomization and, in my mind, increases the validity of the end product, of the end answer. In this case, we have 2 aces and 1 major arcana card. The arcana of any non-ace cards showing really isn't all that relevant. If you're looking at this from a purely yes or no perspective, 1 ace is maybe leaning no. No aces is a definite no. All aces is a definite yes. Or in this case, we have 2 aces, which is maybe leaning yes, or in other words, probably. But in any case, the traditional layout method I was taught stops there. Get your just yes or no answer and move on. In the readings that I do, either by email or by video, I take it a step further. I use the cards that are showing as a sort of 3-card pathway to give additional next step information. It's like, okay, should I change? Yeah, probably. More than likely, good idea. But now what? You have your yes answer, what are you going to do? That's where I combine it with the 3-card pathway and look a little bit at that what next, what are you going to do now sort of aspect of the question. The Fool card speaks of beginnings. So yeah, changing is a new beginning, fresh start. That supports the positivity of the idea of changing. That supports the idea of changing rather than persisting. So the Fool card with its new beginnings feeds into the idea of changing. So yeah, it doesn't feel like there's any more message to it than that. It supports the yesness of the 2 ace cards. The next card is the Ace of Swords, which has to do with the element of air, element of creativity. It feels like the change that this is headed toward, and you know who you are and you know what this is all about, so I'm not going to get into details. But this would feed into the creativity aspect of what's needed to make the change. It'll feed your creativity, and it'll be very satisfying and fulfilling in that respect. You see how the sword points up and there's a soaring bird? That hints that the changing will be an uplifting experience rather than an intimidating, frightening experience. And just like in this situation, making a change, if it doesn't work out, change again. There's nothing wrong with experimentation. That's how you learn. That's how you find out stuff. That's how science does it. We can do that here in the personal development realm as well. The Ace of Pentacles is nice to see because your question is career related. So that's always reassuring to see in a career type question. I feel like the Ace of Pentacles is purely that. Even though it has other connotations, the Ace of Pentacles here is purely, yeah, it'll pay off. And it has like a very earthy, monetary, practical benefit to changing. It's the pro side of the list that you made that's kind of pros and cons of making a change versus the pros and cons of staying the course. This adds a little more weight to the pro side of changing. It's probably where the money energy is flowing right now. So don't be afraid of it. Like I said, you can always change back later. So new beginnings, new creativity, uplifting experience, more earning potential with change. Overall, should you change? Probably yes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how a yes or no reading is done. Like I said, when I'm working on the blog or writing, then I tend to write from the zombie cat perspective because it's more playful and fun. I give the zombie cat character a little bit of snark and humor that isn't always appropriate in other readings or one-to-one readings like this. Not inappropriate in the bad sense, just a little more playful. But in any case, as always, there's print-only material available on the blog. The link is in the description below. I really appreciate your watching and would appreciate any likes, subs, shares, blog follows, anything you can spare. And that's it for the video. I will see you on the print side. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.